In the course of their work, social workers come into contact with many variable dynamics that significantly impact children and families. Among the most complex of these are co-occurring disorders, or COD. Co-occurring disorders can involve a dual diagnosis of mental health and substance use disorders that exist simultaneously. Understanding COD will help social workers to support families in achieving their hopes and goals for the future.
People who present having a history of substance use, anywhere from 50 to 80% will have a co-occurring mental illness.
I see co-occurring disorders impact child welfare in a huge way. 70 or 80% of the cases that we're dealing with have co-occurring disorders.
Co-occurring disorders and child welfare are a package deal. And I think it's taken us a long time to realize that.
When you only treat the addiction, you oftentimes don't recognize the impact that mental health disorders or other kinds of physical disorders may have on that addiction.
It's understanding chemical dependency in itself. It's understanding mental health issues in itself, but then it's also understanding what does that mean for the family when they are together, when the family is struggling with both of them at the same time, and how many barriers that can present to the family.
Supporting parents with COD means addressing both the substance use and mental health components of the diagnosis in an integrated way. The first step in this process is watching for signs of COD, so that clients and their families can get the support they need to recover.
When we receive a case, probably the presenting symptom is the substance abuse. Children are not being supervised because of use, they're not getting to school. And then once we're working with the family, we realize that, there's also some mental health issues that are also present. That might be why they're using, is to medicate their mental health issues.
We do a lot of consultation in looking at families with co-occurring disorders. What is chemical use sort of behaviors versus mental health sort of behaviors? Consulting a mental health professional or consulting a chemical abuse specialist that we can look at and discuss what are we seeing right now within the family and what do we need to do.
In order to get an accurate assessment of what that person may be struggling with, there needs to be a portion of time devoted to building a relationship with that person first.
The client needs to have the opportunity to be able to tell their story and feel like you're not judging them, because I think that kind of puts them on a defensive stance and they're gonna be more resistant. Having a child protection case open with a family, that can add another additional stressor to the family. Let the family tell their story and how they got to where they're at now. Be a good listener, be someone they can trust, be an ally. And not everything is black and white.
COD recovery can be a long, complex process. It's important to anticipate what barriers to recovery might exist. In partnering with clients, you will learn about the personal and systemic barriers that exist, and it's important to understand how these can affect the recovery process.
When a barrier comes up for a family, yes, it's a barrier. Yep, we need to sit down and talk about it. What's next? What can we do next? This isn't gonna stop us, and it isn't gonna stop that parent. We can sit down and do some creative case planning in order to get them around that barrier.
Oftentimes, the barriers, if somebody experiences a relapse, can be that other people think that setback means that they can never get better again. And it's not a bad thing, it's just more information that we know now to be aware of and to be more supportive as you move forward in your recovery.
Recoveries for some parents can take a minimal amount of time. Recovery for some parents can take years. Usually what I will talk with social workers about is bringing some hope to that family. Hope that things can get better, hope that they are able to parent again and that this isn't a lost cause. They shouldn't be giving up even though they may feel like it a lot of the times just because of the depth of the issues with mental health and also with chemical dependency. One of the things that's key with these families is, do they have informal supports of their own? Do they have family members? Do they have friends? Do they have community-based people, churches, whatever it is, that's going to be able to support them after the county or a social worker is out of their lives? What can stay in as a permanent resource for them?
A family's recovery looks like when you see a parent taking positive steps, taking pride in doing something, maybe something as simple as getting their GED.
You know, you completed inpatient treatment, so now you're going to go to aftercare. Maybe the children are coming home. I think it's important that each of those little milestones get celebrated.
I mean, you can tell by the smile, the way they walk, that they have a new sense of pride in themselves, and they feel like they can be successful.
It's important for social workers to remember that everybody's different and what's important to them as far as culture is different. I think it's really important for social workers to listen to the parents, period, because nobody knows those kids better than them.
COD can be the root of many challenges that clients and their families face. Properly identifying COD is critical to developing effective, long-term strategies for recovery and family healing.